G'day, welcome to this introductory video on Occamise. In this video, I just want to show you around the system, show you where everything belongs, and give you a little bit of an introduction to our philosophy behind Occamise. There's two things that we care about at Occamise. The number one thing we care about is our users. So we want to make sure that our users never sort of scratching their heads, and if they need support, that they can just reach out and we're here. And that is really important to us. So that's number one. And number two is a good product. So we think we've built a good product, very open to your feedback, and any feedback you give, we will take on board to make the necessary changes to improve our product. So that's because, back to number one, our users are most important. If you're new to building AI-powered solutions, you'll notice there's a lot of tools out there and that you can build solutions by combining each of these different elements together to build a solution for a client. So you can build, with sort of, say, Twilio to enable some of the, connectivity to your agents, maybe Vappy or Bland. And then you've got things like make.com and Zapier to do some of the automations and things. So we want to be a tool where you can avoid having to use all of those different tools. And we want to try and put as much as we can under the hood in Occamise, so that you don't need to have to manage each of the different components and how they interact with each other. And what it means for your end clients is they get one interface that they can use to manage the solution that you build for them. And also, it just simplifies everything. It simplifies support, reduces risk overall in having different components, and it reduces complexity around things like billing and pricing and things like that for you. So hopefully we're making it really, really simple for you. And so the other thing I would say is, don't be put off by how easy it is to use Occamise. Everything in Occamise is directed through the human language. So there isn't any sort of canvases with you got to draw diagrams and lines and configure complicated schemas and JSON files or any of that sort of thing. But it doesn't mean that you can't do amazing things with our platform. We just think that the future is not going to require that level of complexity for users when they're building solutions. And so hopefully we're right with that. That's been our philosophy from the start. And that's why you'll see that our solution is quite different to everything else that is out there. All right, so let's get into a little walk around of the product. Along the left-hand side, obviously, is your menu. You can minimize your menu if you want a little bit of more room. I'm zoomed in, by the way, so it actually looks like this, but I'll keep it zoomed in just so you guys can see a little bit clearer. So when you first log in, dashboard is obviously, pretty empty, nothing much going on here. This is our standard dashboard, probably going to change, honestly. We're actually developing a custom dashboarding tool at the moment where you can configure your own dashboard elements and drag them around and so on. We've got some pretty nifty ideas there, which we're going to be bringing very soon. We do have a very early stage of that custom dashboard available, which you can certainly play with in the meantime. But this is our standard dashboard. Really handy place to be able to see recent conversation history. You can't see a lot of activity here, but this recent history section here opens up and you get a list of recent conversations for different agents that users have been interacting with. You can see instantly any active conversations that are occurring, and at least those that you have permission to see. And action items are just a handy way of having agents sort of assign actions for maybe the human overseers. And then, of course, conversations can be marked as important and so on. With active conversations, thing about Occamise is, we want to make it really easy for agents to be able to collaborate with their human colleagues and for the human administrators to oversee the activity of the agents and, if necessary, take over conversations or be invited to participate in conversations by the agents themselves. And so with active conversations, when there is one, you'll see that you can take over a conversation, you can certainly monitor it in real time and do all those sorts of things as well. Our agents page, obviously agents are the central component of everything in Occamise. So we have AI agents that you would use to interact with customers and also internal business users and also systems and software autonomously. Knowledge is key, of course, for your agents. So we have our own proprietary RAG system, or retrieval augmented generation, I believe it's called. So we have our own system for that. Once you have added knowledge into our platform through all of the methods you would expect, once the knowledge is in there, our system will retrieve the most relevant items and present them to your agent, as they are having a conversation. So every time a request is given to an agent, it is given with the most relevant context to support that agent in answering the question or fulfilling whatever they're up to in fulfilling their role. All right, so channels, we can communicate with agents through a variety of different channels. So at the moment, out of the box, we support web chat. Webhook is just a way for another system to request something of one of our agents and kick off a flow. SMS, back and forth conversational SMSs. Voicemail is a kind of a cool one. So if you're still using a traditional voicemail system where you've got to call in and listen to messages and take notes, you don't need to do that if you're using Occamise. You can have Occamise handle all of your voicemails, so it can take a message, and you can have AI agents initiate downstream actions, send information to the caller via SMS, whatever it may be that you want. So a digital voicemail solution, if you like. We also support conversational voice. We support Amazon Polly, 11 Labs, and OpenAI for our voices at the moment. And Facebook Messenger, we finally got Meta to sort out their stuff, and we've got Facebook Messenger going as well. You can certainly expect WhatsApp and other type messaging platforms to be coming very soon. So the thing about channels is an agent can have multiple channels pointing to it, and the agent intuitively understands how to adjust its responses based on the channel. Abilities is what makes agents actually really effective in so much as they can perform real world actions. Now, an ability is effectively running a function, and an agent might do that to perform an action and or retrieve some additional context. So, an action might be to retrieve information that's going to help with fulfilling its role, or it may be actually performing actions in other software systems. So with our abilities, of course, we're enabling as much as we can integrations with third-party systems. So we have some popular ones out of the box like Office 365 and Gmail and some other ones, Slack, for example. We also enable you to connect with any software through a custom integration in which you can define quite easily within the platform. The other thing with abilities that's really cool in Occamise is that you can create an ability that can interact with any of these components. So, an agent can create another agent, it can add knowledge, it can create channels, it can create abilities, etc. So with tables, for example, an agent can create a table and add rows and modify rows and do all of that just through the ability system, which makes it really, really awesome when you're creating these flows that the agents can be involved in initiating other actions and creating different outcomes within the system. Connections is exactly what you'd imagine. It's just how you configure our system to authenticate with these other systems. Tables is our way of providing some basic structured data storage within the platform. So you don't have to integrate with Airtable, for example, but you certainly can. But we just want to provide, as I said up front, as much as we can out of the box. And so you do have tables available within our platform that agents can interact with as they need to fulfill their roles. We have some cool elements to our table. We have a special field type called a vector distance. Recommend you check that out, as it can be super useful for a lot of AI powered use cases. The scheduler, you can set an action to occur on a one-off basis or a recurring basis in the future, which is really useful for creating autonomous workflows within the system. We do have contacts as well. We're sort of working on developing this concept out a little bit. So contacts at the moment are really most effective when it comes to conversations with users where you can reliably identify the user. For example, if I phone into an Occamise solution, and my phone number is readily available, I haven't sort of blocked my number, then Occamise can see my phone number, and therefore it can reliably create a contact for me. And you can store information against my contact record, and the system will also store some information automatically from what it gleans in the conversation. So that's really awesome, because then if I was to call back, the system can have some knowledge about my previous interactions. And lastly is assets. Well, not really lastly, we do have some more stuff down the bottom I might touch on. But assets is where you're going to upload documents, which you can either just have, like you just upload a document so you can grab a URL and store a document somewhere, but also you can choose to have that document sort of chunked down and put into the knowledge base as knowledge items as well. So either or for documents. And then image files, similar, just images that you're uploading so that you can have agents produce those during conversations or as needed. Organization settings at the moment, we're probably going to reorganize all this at some point, but just some basic stuff that you can configure around your organization. Really important here is the business overview. So just provide a little bit of context for all of your agents about what is this company called Learn Occamise in this case, but what is this organization? What does it do? And that information in this business overview will be included in all of the conversations that the agents manage as context. So what else? Under users, you can configure the users for your account and give them assign them different roles and permissions. And then under roles and permissions, you can define the roles that you can assign to users, where you can restrict what they can see. So again, like if you're a solution provider, you're building solutions for a client, they're going to want an interface that they can use to manage that solution that you've built for them. They want to be able to see all the reporting and analytics, and they want to be able to interact with their agents that are there to support them in their day-to-day job. And you can control what aspects they see of the overall solution by giving them specific roles. So basically you can have a user that only sees the dashboard and maybe, just their agents, for example. And then under usage, you can see your current month's usage costs and your historical from here. So I think that's pretty much the high level overview on our solution. Remember, number one, our users are most important. So if you need anything, please reach out to us. You can interact with this agent in the corner here to request help, and it will hopefully be able to answer a lot of your questions. But if there's anything that you're not sure of, please get in touch with us and we will be there to support you. We're going to do a lot of tutorial videos where we dive deep into each of the different topics and a lot of practical videos on building solutions with our platform. You will have noticed on each of these pages there is an introductory video which I'd encourage you to watch. They're all very, very short, and you can watch those to learn more about each of those topics. All right. Have fun, because building solutions with Occamise literally is fun. I have so much fun every time I get an opportunity to build a solution. So have fun, enjoy it, and please let us know if we can help with anything. Cheers.